Hi, hello, how are we today? Welcome to my new little corner of the internet. I am so happy to see you. This video is basically just a hodgepodge of two different videos that I was going to make. One is a book shopping vlog, and then I also have a massive book haul, literally the biggest book haul of my life. So I decided to just combine them into one massive book video. So that's what this is, and I hope you guys enjoy.
I'm doing some exciting things today. I'm going to 3 different bookstores in the span of the next few hours. We're going to Half Price Books, Barnes & Noble, and then Books A Million. So a lot of book shopping, browsing that is about to happen. So I thought that we could do it together. Our first stop is Half Price Books. I'm here to do some book returns. I got some books for Christmas that I don't think I'm going to read. My poor mom, I was raving about the Mind Off series on TikTok. She saw my videos, and so she went into Half Price Books and asked the employee what books are similar to the Mindfuck series. The employee sent her straight to the erotica section, which if you've read the Mindfuck series, I feel like it's almost offensive to what topics were in that book. Although there was spice, I would not consider that the main premise of it. But she ended up getting me this series by Sierra Simone and then this series by Maya Banks. I have heard of this series before. Unfortunately, I just don't think that it's for me. No shame against these books. I'm sure that they are great. I'm just not a huge spice reader, and based on what I've heard about these books, I just don't think that they are books that I would enjoy. So I want to just go ahead and return them. And then this series, I honestly have no idea what it's about. I read the back of one of them and it didn't really interest me. I also haven't heard much about them, so I feel like there's not going to be anything that draws me to read them. My plan is to just return those for store credit and then kind of browse Half Price Books. There's nothing in particular that I'm looking for. I think I could be convinced to maybe pick up Windy City series if they have it, which I doubt they will, but like if they did. I know that they usually have the Red Rising series here, and I do only have book 1 and I want the other books, but I also feel like I should read the first book before I pick up the whole series, you know? I don't know. I'm just gonna browse Half Price Books and see what they kind of have. I don't have anything in mind, which makes it even more fun, you know? We're just going in for all the surprises. One thing that I do want to grab is a copy of Little Women. I really want to read my first classic book this year, and I think that Little Women is the book that I'm choosing, the one that I want to read. So I want to see if they have a good copy of Little Women. I have a copy of it right now, but I feel like it's a really pretty one, and it's not like one that I want to read. I just want to like have it on my shelf and for it to be like beautiful and untouched. So I need to get a copy that I would be okay like reading and roughing up a little bit, and maybe annotating too. I feel like it'd be fun to annotate a classic book. I'm at the Half Price Books in Louisville. I meet my friend Natalie here because she told me that this is like her favorite Half Price Books location, and she would always rave about it, but I had no idea which location she was actually talking about, and I was shocked when I realized what location it was, because this is actually my childhood Half Price Books location. All of my books that I read as a kid are from this Half Price Books, so it's like a full circle moment coming back here because I haven't been here in years, but I'm really excited. So I thought that we could do some book shopping browsing together. I think I'm gonna pick this one up. I already own Red Rising, but I like this spine, so. Okay, the dust jacket is obviously really like shredded, but like the actual is pretty cute. Yeah, only $5. I just got done at Half Price Books. I only ended up picking up 2 books. First, I got Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I actually already own this book, but I like this spine of it better and how the series looks together with these spines. So I went ahead and picked up this one, and then I'm going to move forward just buying these spines. And then I picked up Finlay Donovan is Killing It. I feel like I've heard a lot about this book. I recognized the title when I saw it, and then I read the back and it seems pretty interesting. It's kind of like a thriller mystery situation, but I feel like it's also like a little funny and silly as well, just based on the premise of what's going on. So I'm excited for this one as well. Just 2 books. I feel like that's pretty good. I had a gift card, so I actually still have some money left over on my gift card, which means later on I could always grab a book from there. And then we're going to Books A Million. I don't think I'm gonna grab anything there, but I still want to go and look, so let's go. The concept of this book is so interesting to me, but I've heard that the character doesn't have like a character arc at the end, which is really concerning. I feel like that would make me hate it, but the plot sounds so interesting. Please let me know if this is worth the read, because it catches my eye every time. I literally just bought this book and it's on sale here for $7.97. I did get it at Book Outlet though, so I got a good deal on that, but no other place to buy it for a good price. Just got done at Books A Million. One of the literary fictions that I've been eyeing for a while was on sale for 60% off. That is Husbands and Lovers. I don't know why, but first of all, the cover of this book just catches my eye every time. I looked it up on Goodreads and I was like, if this is rated at least a 4, I'm gonna grab it. And it was rated a 4.14. So that was my sign to pick it up, and I'm actually really excited that this is coming home with me, finally. Made it to Barnes & Noble. I am on the hunt for the Penguin Classics edition of Little Women, and then we're also just gonna look around. So. Okay, I found this really cute edition of Little Women, but I'm torn if I want to get it because it wasn't the one I came here for. And then I returned a book, so I'm going to swap it for Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Do you say Leigh? Leigh. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So yeah. Can I get this copy of Little Women?
I think it's really cute, but I don't know.
I don't know if I should get it or not. The vibes are completely different here.
They are. That's so funny.
This is reading diversity at its finest. Diversity when we're talking genres.
Yes.
When we're talking genres. Just got done at Barnes & Noble. I ended up getting gifted Done and Dusted for Christmas, which obviously I have read and loved. So great pick by them, but I just had it. So I ended up swapping it out for Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I haven't read any dark academia really, so I am excited to get into this, and I was able to swap it out, which is great. I love doing some book shopping, but yeah. If you didn't know, my birthday was on December 27th. I did kind of go a little bit crazy. I did some extreme book shopping and I bought myself 22 books for my 22nd birthday. So I thought that we could do a massive book haul. I also spent my birthday in Austin and I also got some books as gifts. So I have genuinely the biggest book haul of my life. So let's get into it. Right, so like I said, massive book haul incoming. First thing I got is the entire Belladonna trilogy. I ended up buying the box set because I specifically wanted the beautiful naked hardbacks. I saw Wisteria first with the naked hardback and I was like, oh my goodness, I must have all 3 of them with these beautiful, gorgeous hardbacks. So I ended up buying the box set. I got it from Books A Million. Really excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things and I want to get into more series in 2025. So I think this is a perfect one to pick up. Next book I got is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. Just recently read Not Another Love Song by her and I really, really enjoyed it. The chemistry, so good. So I wanted to pick up another one of her books, and this one I feel like is also talked about a pretty good amount. I ended up picking this one up during the Book Outlet like $5.99 sale, so honestly perfect. Next book I got is House of Roots and Ruin. How this book ended up in my possession is kind of a long story. Basically, I bought 13th Child at Barnes & Noble because it was the prettiest book ever. Then somebody was like, you need to read House of Salt and Sorrow first. So I was like, okay, and then I bought that one. But then I found out that that is actually a duology and it goes with this one. I believe this is the second book. So then I was like, I need to pick up this. And I saw that it was included in the Book Outlet $5.99 sale. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna pick this up. I literally could not give you even an inkling, a clue of what this series is about. But all I know is that I own it, and I also own The 13th Child, and I do want to read it. I feel like they're giving like fall winter reads, so I think it'll be perfect for that time. Next book I picked up is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I have heard, once again, nothing but good things about this book. I feel like every time I hear about it, it just keeps creeping up and up in priority on my TBR. It was included in the $5.99 Book Outlet sale. Yep, you're coming home with me. I absolutely need to pick this up because I have literally not heard a bad word about this book. And if you have bad things to say about it, just keep it to yourself, because in my mind, this is like top tier books and I just really am excited to read it. This book I picked up is one that I have been wanting to read for a while, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is another series that I don't really know a lot about it. I just know that it's science fiction, which is a genre that I haven't really gotten into but really want to get into. Just picked up the first book for now because getting into a new genre, I wanted to make sure I like it before I buy the whole series, but I think I will. I don't know, I just know in my heart that I will. So I am really excited to read this and definitely want to get into it this year. The next book I picked up is The Wedding People by Alison Spack. So sorry if I said that last name wrong. This is another book that I've been dying to read. I have hesitated picking it up so many times and I honestly don't know why, but then there was one review that I saw and they said that it was the heaviest, funniest book that they've ever read.
I don't know what that means for my heart. I don't know what that means for a reading experience, but I need to find out. So therefore I had to pick it up. Really, really excited to read this. It's also, I think, more on the literary fiction side, which is something that I'm trying to get into. I think this was a perfect grab. I picked up Immortal Dark. I picked this up because once again, I have been influenced. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. It also has the most gorgeous sprayed edges. And even the quote says, "No soul can enter without an invitation," which is extremely intriguing. Like, I need to know what that's about. So I'm really excited to get into this. I think it's also, once again, on that like fantasy, maybe thriller, lit fic vibes. Not entirely sure, but I'm excited. I think this will be a good fall winter read. I picked up Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I read Out on a Limb, absolutely loved it, knew that I needed to pick up more of her books, so I ended up grabbing this one. I'm so excited to read Out of the Woods as well. That one is coming out soon. I did still want to pick up one of the books on her backlog, so I can't wait to read this one as well. Another author that I read one of their books, loved it, and knew I needed to read more is Annabelle Monaghan. I read Summer Romance by her during a 24-hour readathon and loved it. I thought it was really, really good. So I ended up picking up Same Time Next Summer. These are both standalone romances, which is my bread and butter. I love a good standalone romance, so I can't wait to read these because I loved both the authors, and I ended up picking up both these during a Target sale. Next book I picked up was 100% judging a book by its cover moment, and that is Mad Woman by Chelsea Beaker, I want to say is her last name. Once again, so sorry if the pronunciation is wrong. I picked up Mad Woman. I know nothing about this book. Literally not a freaking clue. I think at one point I did see somebody talking about this, which is how it entered into the world of books that I know exist, but I know nothing actually about it. I believe that it's more on the literary fiction side, but this cover is so intriguing. And you can say what you want about judging a book by its cover. It did it for me. It's gonna do it. On the back, it says it's darkly funny, heart-smashing, and absolutely unforgettable. Mad Woman is a masterpiece. I mean, what more could you want? The next two books I picked up from Barnes & Noble, and that is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. They're the Barnes & Noble special editions. I read One Dark Window last year and absolutely freaking loved it, but I didn't get to Two Twisted Crowns, and I tried to hop back into Two Twisted Crowns and realized that I forgot everything. So I went to reread One Dark Window and then read Two Twisted Crowns, but I ended up just picking up the special editions anyways. This was kind of like an extra little birthday treat. I was like, you know what? I deserve these beautiful, gorgeous editions on my bookshelf. I just know in my heart that I'm gonna love Two Twisted Crowns. Every single person has told me that Two Twisted Crowns they liked better, which is crazy because this book, banger. Absolutely loved it. So if it gets better, I can't even fathom. I kind of want to do a 24-hour readathon reading both of these at the same time. Like, I feel like that would be so good, just like back to back, not even exiting this world, not even giving myself space to breathe, just absorbing all of this. I feel like that would be an immaculate experience. But I wanted to treat myself, so I went ahead and just got the special editions knowing that I'm going to love it. And I am so excited to put these on my shelf at some point. Then I picked up Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. This is a collection of novellas. I've read The Love Hypothesis and really, really liked it, and read Love Theoretically, and I did still enjoy it, so I wanted to just go ahead and pick this up. It's her only book in the STEM category that I didn't own. I have a copy of all of the other ones, so I wanted to go ahead and just pick this up. And it's not a high priority read, but I do still want to read it at some point. I feel like it'll be an easy breezy one to get through, so I'm excited. Next book I picked up is Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. This one got recommended to me because I was talking about the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I was reading Lost and Lassoed and talking about how much I loved it, and somebody was like, girl, if you liked that, you need to read this. And no hesitation, no further questions asked, purchased, on my shelf, will get read. I also need to read the Chestnut Spring series. I feel like that's the most popular like cowboy romance series, and the fact that I haven't read it is kind of criminal. This is an author that I feel like I haven't seen people talk about as much. I do really want to give it a go, and to the girl who recommended this to me, I feel like I'm gonna love this, so I'm just gonna say it now. I love you. Thank you. The next book I picked up is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This was another book outlet pick, I think. I feel like I've seen a lot of people really raving about Mariana Zapata, but I've never read any of her books. I know that she has a bunch of books, so I need to do some research on what order people recommend reading these. I want to try to read more authors in 2025, so I'm excited to see what I think about this one. Another book outlet absolute gem of a find is The Collected Regrets of Clover. This is another literary fiction that I've heard nothing but good things about. I've seen some people say that it was one of their favorite reads of 2025. The cover is also freaking adorable. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for a good cover. Like, take notes because I'll buy it if it's pretty. Let me just read you guys the quote on the inside cover because it just kind of hurts my heart a little bit, but I think that makes me excited for what's going to be in this book. But it says, "What's the point of giving someone a beautiful death if you can't give yourself a beautiful life?" What does that even mean? There's so much to unpack in that one statement. So I feel like that's exactly how this book is going to feel. It's just going to feel like a lot, but in the best way. So I can't wait to read it. The next book I picked up is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This was 100% a book that Madison Kate influenced me to buy. She was raving about it, and just her passion talking about this book, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. I believe it's a literary fiction thriller, which is honestly perfect because I'm trying to get into more lit fic and I love thrillers and want to read more of them. So I feel like this is the best of both worlds kind of situation. Since I watched her video about her talking about it, I feel like I've seen it more and more on my book talk, and every time I see it, I want to read it more and more. So this honestly might be high priority on my TBR, but I had to pick it up for myself because I am really excited. You're gonna see a theme with the lit fic. I'm really trying to get into some good literary fictions in 2025, but the next book I picked up is Blue Sisters. I got this one at Barnes & Noble, and it actually happens to be a signed edition, which is super cool. From my understanding, it really focuses on heavy like family dynamics, which I think is really interesting. I only have one sibling. I have a little brother, so I'm really excited to read about somebody else's family dynamics, and also just the character arcs between 4 different people is really interesting, just having so many complex characters. Coco Mellers is also an author that I've just been wanting to get into in general. This is another one that I can't wait to read. The very last book I bought myself for my birthday is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I feel like Brandon Sanderson is one of those authors that it's like, if you're a reader, I feel like it's almost a staple. Like, you just have to read at least one of his books. I feel like everyone talks about his books, and I haven't read any of them, so I want to understand. I want to get on the train. I want to understand the hype and the love. He has so many books. He has the largest book discography that I think I've ever seen. I asked you guys for your opinion on where to start with his books, and I was told numerous times that Mistborn is the way to go, the original Mistborn trilogy. I believe I picked up the right one. I got this one at Barnes & Noble. It says original trilogy, so I think we're good. But I'm really excited to get into this. I also want to try to read more books that I feel like my boyfriend would also like. That way I can try to convince him to read. Right now he has this big fat history book. I really want to try to find a book that I think we would both like and we can both talk about together. So I want to try to read this one because I feel like this is a really popular author, and I feel like this is a good category for both of us to enjoy. So I do really want to give one of his books a go. I'm actually terrified for this little stack over here. I know you guys can't see it, but it is to the ground and up. That's how many books we have. But those are all the books that I bought myself for my 22nd birthday. I am so excited to read all of them. Genuinely, hopefully you're seeing the love that I have for all of the ones I picked out. I was also gifted some books, so I want to talk about those. And then I did spend my birthday in Austin and did pick up a couple of books there, as well as place one little small bonus order. These are all of the rest of the books that have recently come into my collection, but let's go through them. Let's go through the books that I was gifted first. Literally, thank you so much to anybody who gave me a book for my birthday. My boyfriend's little sister got me 3 different books. She is also a reader, so she picked out some of her favorite reads that she thinks I will also like, and so I'm really excited. The first book is The Last Thing He Told Me. I believe that this is a thriller, and I'm actually super excited. I want to get into more thrillers this year. I read a lot last year, but I feel like there is just a whole thriller world that I haven't even touched yet, and she said that this is one of her favorites, that it really just had her hooked. What she got me is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This is another series that I am really excited for. I was literally chit-chatting with her about this book and how one of my friends was raving about it, and then she ended up buying it for me, so I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. We'll definitely be getting into this. I also love the new covers that they did. I think they're so pretty. And then the last book she got me is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This author does like rewritings or retellings of a lot of like stories from your childhood. She's done like Cinderella. I believe she's done like Snow White. I think that this one is based on Alice in Wonderland though, which is really interesting. I could be wrong about that, but I love little retellings. I think it's so like whimsical and fun, but also really interesting. And she said that this one is really good. So I'm excited to give this author a go. Book Club did a White Elephant book exchange for a December meeting, and I ended up getting their Vicious Games. This is another thriller book that I'm really excited for. The next book I got is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This book intimidates the heck out of me, but I also really want to read it. I believe the second book is also coming out this year, but I had this one on my book wish list, and one of my mutuals on TikTok, Tay Reads, sent it to me. Taylor, if you're watching this, thank you so much for sending this to me. We actually have the same birthday, so we sent each other books, and it was just so cute. I really want to try to get into more fantasies this year, and I think this will be a good one to try to get into. And the last book that I got gifted is The Postmistress of Paris. This is a historical fiction. My best friend got me a blind date with a book that was Taylor Swift themed, specifically Folklore, because it's one of my favorite albums. This is the book that I got. It looks really good. Historical fiction is another genre that I do really want to read more of. I picked up a couple more Kristen Hanna books after I read The Nightingale, but I'm excited to try a new author. It kind of reminds me of The Nightingale almost, but obviously different author, slightly different story. So I am really excited to read this one as well. And then for the books that I bought myself while in Austin, I got a blind date with a book that came with 2 books, an ARC and a used book. Blind date with the book was only $10, which is so good honestly, but I ended up getting Bad Seed by Sharon Sala. This comes out on January 14th actually. I think it's like a suspenseful thriller kind of situation, which is right up my alley, so I'm really excited to read this. And then the used book I got was The Heist. I was kind of reading the synopsis and it looks like this book is another like thriller, very like action-packed book. I'm really glad that we got a bunch of thrillers in here because I do want to read some more of those. So I am excited for both of these reads, and honestly for $10, 2 books, can't go wrong. And then these 2 books I did order for myself. I ended up picking up Binding 13. One of my mutuals, Rachel, has her entire series annotated and she has these editions of it, and something about seeing her annotated copies of these editions just did it for me. I was like, all right, we're gonna order it. I did just order the first one so that I can see if I like the series before I commit to buying the entire UK one, but nonetheless I bought them and I'm so excited. And then I did also pick up the UK edition of Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Sally Rooney is an author that I really want to try to get into. I watched Normal People and I didn't read it, and I kind of regret that. I wasn't into reading when I watched Normal People, but I do kind of want to circle back and try to read it because I feel like that book has so much love. I feel like recently I've been seeing a lot of love for Intermezzo, so I decided to just go ahead and pick this up and see if I like it. A 32 book haul, I believe. Maybe it's more than that. I could have miscounted. There's honestly so many good books in this pile, so I'm really excited to read these. So yeah, that was my book shopping and massive book haul, literally the biggest book haul of my life. In 2025, I am on the hunt for my first 6-star read. I am really hoping that it's going to be in that stack of books that I got. I really think it is. I feel like there's no way there isn't at least one 6-star read in there, but I'm genuinely so excited, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!